With the pace of modern business and the competitive need for more and more data, organizations now correctly ask whether their data management practices still support their business strategies, especially those now trying to wrangle data across multiple platforms to achieve sophisticated real time analytics and generative AI outcomes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Diyalani. Now, there are a lot of questions that usually organizations struggle with. Does this most valuable asset enable better agility to take advantage of new trends and opportunities? Are they getting the insights they need to facilitate data driven decisions? Or can they collaborate on the growing amount of data? Or is it segmented into departmental silos with varying degrees of governance, quality, and cost control? If the answers to these questions are unknown, it's time to create or revisit your data strategy. Let's welcome Jagrit Gandotra, Chief Business Officer at AION Tech Solutions, to discuss how full stack, BI, cloud, and data are transforming business performance and decision making. Hi, Jagrit. A very warm welcome to our podcast today.
Hi, Priya. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, Jagrit. And I think the more we talk about data, the less it feels because there's so much to talk about data and what all things probably organizations need to keep in mind while creating their data strategy or while even trying to gain some valuable insights and measurable insights from their data in terms of improving their business efficiency. I think we are going to unpack a lot of things today in our episode today, but before that, let's set the foundation and let our listeners understand more about Ion Tech Solutions, its specialization, and alongside that, we would also like to know more about you, Jagrit. So, a little bit about you. How has the journey been till date, and what exactly is your role at the company today?
Sure. We are AION Tech Solutions Limited. So it says limited. So we are a public listed company and we are a leading data analytics, AI, and digital transformation consulting organization. We help enterprises unlock value from their data through modern analytics platform, cloud technologies, AI automation, and business intelligence solutions. Our expertise spans technologies such as Tableau Salesforce, Snowflake, Alteryx, and other leading data platforms. In my role, I am responsible for driving business growth, strategic partnership, customer success, and solution adoption across our portfolio. I work very closely with our customers to align technology investments with their business outcomes and help organizations accelerate their digital transformation. From my academics standpoint, I have done my post-graduation from Birmingham University in 2010, 2011. And thereafter, I have worked in UK for organizations like British Sky Broadcasting, Virgin, and a couple of more. I joined AION Tech in 2014 when I came back to India, and since then I am with AION Tech. It's been almost 12 years now.
Great. Thank you for that crisp and a short overview, Jagrit. And I'm sure, and it certainly gives our audience a clear understanding of the organization core focus area and the value it brings to the industry. With that context in place, let's dive a little deeper into the broader industry landscape, Jagrit. Now, a lot of people usually tend to, confuse data strategy with data management. Now, data management includes the processes and systems to collect, store, orchestrate, and share data across the organization. So it focuses on the operational aspects like data infrastructure and data lifecycle management. Whereas, on the other hand, data strategy impacts all aspects of a business. Now, business value is unlocked only when data silos are removed and employees and stakeholders and even customers know and are trained to extract those insights. So, why has data strategy become a very crucial boardroom priority rather than just a mere IT responsibility?
Uh, See, data has evolved from being an operational asset to becoming a strategic business asset. Today, I would say decisions related to growth, customer experience, risk management, innovation, and competitive advantages are all driven by data. So, boards are realizing that organizations with strong data strategies makes faster decisions, identify new revenue opportunities, and improve operational efficiencies also. So, as a result, data strategy is no longer an IT initiative. It's a business transformation agenda that requires executive sponsorship and organization wide ownership. Also, I would like to add data strategy is the way and what it defines how data drives business outcomes and competitive advantage. So, data management is how it ensures data is accurate, secure, and accessible for use. So, in simple terms, strategy sets the direction while management builds the foundation. So, you need both. Without strategy, data lacks purpose. Without management, it lacks reliability. So, you need both to proceed.
Agreed with you, Jagrit, and I think yes, data is no longer viewed just as a back-end operational asset, but a more strategic business resource that can directly influence growth and innovation and the overall customer experiences. Again, as organizations continue to invest in AI and advanced analytics, I think how they can probably transform the data into actionable intelligence is, it's the real differentiator, I feel. And I think the entire shift has elevated discussions, around business resilience and risk management as we're in witnessing the increased adoption of AI.
Correct.
Moving ahead, Jagrit, now if we talk about business intelligence now, traditional business intelligence was designed for an era where only a few specialists had access to data, and decision making could take even days or even weeks. And every team needs to act on insights in real time. So, waiting for reports today isn't an option. So, again, the question is how can you scale data driven decisions across your entire organization? Now, a lot of people say data democratization is the fix. It clears the roadblocks that have kept teams waiting on data and relying on, data analysts. So, what does data democratization actually mean, and why is it so crucial for business growth?
Uh, Priya, as you have rightly mentioned, so when I also started my journey in 2014, when the business intelligence was a bit new to our market, I mean, India market, at that point of time, the first thing, or probably the most important thing that we also used to hear from the users was that data is with the IT team. And by the time we get the data, it is no longer required to take a decision. Hence, data democratization is very, very important. So it means enabling all the business users across the organization to securely access, understand, and act on trusted data without relying heavily on the technical teams, IT teams, I mean to say. So historically, data was confined to IT and analytics department, which was creating a lot of bottlenecks for the users to take decisions or to mitigate the risks. So today, organizations need marketing teams, finance teams, operations leaders, and frontline employees to make data-driven decisions in real time. Right. The other thing that I would like to add, so when organizations democratize data effectively, they accelerate decision making, increase productivity, improve innovations, and create a culture where every employee can contribute towards the business growth through the insights they have from their data.
Right, Jagrit. And I think, again, democratization is important because in today's date, it's very important how data is accessible, understandable, and actionable across departments. And I think it empowers every employee across the levels to make informed decisions rather than relying solely on a handful of specialists or leadership teams. And I think we have seen that companies that have, been successful in breaking down their data silos often become more agile and customer centric, and I think better equipped for new growth opportunities. And again, it creates a culture where decisions are driven by evidence and insights rather than just mere assumptions. So that empowers businesses to respond faster to market shifts and evolving customer expectations. Okay, with that being said, now of course, when we talk about data, cloud is something that usually accompanies data analytics. And again, everybody and every organization is investing in cloud. And if you don't have a cloud platform or you're not investing in a cloud tech solution, so I think, you're kind of behind the entire race. Now, as organizations continue to invest in cloud solutions and advanced data analytics capabilities, one of the most common questions from business leaders and stakeholders is around value realization. Undoubtedly, these technologies promise greater agility and improved operational efficiencies. Measuring their true business impact is often more complex than tracking a traditional IT investments. How should organizations measure the return on investment, Jagrit, from their cloud data and analytics programs?
So, Priya, ROI should be measured beyond technology implementation metrics. Organizations should focus on business outcomes. So, for example, revenue growth through better customer insights, right? When the customer insights will be there and the revenue will go up, then obviously it will automatically share the ROI. Then faster time to market for products and services, reduced operational costs through automation, right? So these are the points where ROI can be measured. Just to add a couple of more points, enhanced customer experience and retention, reduced business risks, improved compliance, faster and more accurate decision making. When it comes to value realization in cloud, isn't just the cost saving. It's about driving measurable business outcomes like agility, speed, innovation. And ROI comes from optimizing usage, aligning IT spend to business priorities, and eliminating underutilized resources. So the real impact shows when technology enables faster decision making, scalability and sustained growth will come. So what I've seen in my experience, the most successful organizations establish baseline metrics before transformation and continuously measure business impact rather than simply tracking technology adoption. So it's very, very important to see from a different angle.
I agree with you, Jagrit, and it's high time, I think, organizations, move away from measuring their investments, the tech investments, and solely through, tech KPIs, and instead align their outcomes with broader business objectives. And I think this allows stakeholders to understand not just what the technology is doing, but how it is contributing to revenue growth or risk reduction and customer retention and eventually long-term competitiveness. And again, I think it's very important to establish clear success metrics from the outset and continuously tracking them throughout your entire transformation journey. After all, without a well-defined measurement framework, even highly successful initiatives can struggle to demonstrate their true business impact. Great. Since we have
Right.
discussed, about data analytics and what are sort of KPIs we need to keep in mind. Now, it's no brainer that legacy systems can be the main reason an organization slows down. But what the majority of leaders are asking today is, How do we move beyond just updating to the latest tech? What, how, and when can we use our data turning into insights that contribute to business goals? So I think it's about building the entire footing to make smarter, faster, and more reliable decisions at scale. So everybody's talking, about data modernization strategies. According to you, what should be some of the key aspects enterprises need to keep in mind while formulating their data modernization strategies?
Well, there cannot be only one strategy. I mean, while I have my points in my mind already, but different organizations move differently as per their priorities and as per their data policies internally. However, successful data modernization programs typically focus on five key pillars. So the first one would be cloud first, which is data architecture, which creates scalable and flexible data platform. So that is number one. And then data governance and quality. Because if you don't have governance and the quality, then there is no point moving ahead. So ensure trusted, secure, and compliant data which can be used for further decision making. Then modern analytics and self-service capabilities. So this empowers all the business users to take decisions on the fly for their particular businesses or for their departments or for their employees probably. And then automation and AI integration on top of that. So if you embed that, then it will reduce the manual process and it will accelerate the decision making. And then fifth one, people and culture transformation. So what, in my experience, what I have seen is you give any BI tool to any organization until and unless it's not a top bottom approach, people won't use it. And it's a cultural thing which actually creates a lot of ruckus, wherein nobody wants to change, everybody wants to do or continue to do Excel or maybe any other product that they've been using from the last so many years. So that culture transformation is very, very much required. So it's a mindset game basically. And then technology alone does not modernize an enterprise. Sustainable success comes from aligning technology, process, and people, which is our company's tagline also.
Right, Jagrit, and I think you pretty much highlighted it very well that data modernization, again, it's not just having one strategy, it's ensuring that, it's aligned. Whatever strategy is probably related to data the organization is trying to bring up, it has to become a business transformation imperative. And again, for enterprises that are dealing with massive volumes of data, which is again spread across multiple environments or business functions, it's very critical for them to create a unified and intelligent data foundation. And, of course, like you mentioned, it's about moving beyond just adopting the new technologies or new platforms. It also needs to focus on data quality or security and seamless accessibility for business users. So it boils down eventually to your mindset, how you're shifting your mindset and ensuring that the objective is to turn data into a strategic asset, which eventually, accelerates decision making and innovation.
Yep.
Great. Now, since we have discussed, about data modernization, key aspects of data modernization, of course, our today's conversation would be incomplete if we didn't discuss about, the governance and security aspect of data. Of course, with new adoptions coming into picture, traditional access models struggle to keep up. An effective data access governance program does more than just manage access. It provides explainability and accountability, ensuring that, every decision or data is justified, compliant, and auditable. How do you think that enterprises can balance that accessibility with governance, security, and compliance requirements?
Okay. So, firstly, organizations should move away from the misconception that governance slows innovation. Modern governance should act as an enabler rather than a barrier. So, to establish this, I have a couple of examples. So, first of all, clearly defined data ownership. So, again, in my experience, what I have seen when we go to bigger enterprise organizations, there, if they have a person or if they have given the ownership to a department or to maybe one single person where he or she is responsible for the entire implementation, it goes really, really smooth and it gets implemented perfectly the way we have discussed when we have started the journey. So second, role based access controls, that is also very, very important. So for example, if we have hundreds of people in a sales department, and probably let's say if somebody is in Bombay and he doesn't or she doesn't require to see the data of Delhi, so there comes role-based access controls, which is very, very important to give. Then automated governance policies, data lineage and audibility, continuous monitoring and compliance frameworks. That is also very, very important because once you implement, it is not over. It's a kind of job where over a period of time, you'll have to add, you'll have to do a lot of other things also to make sure that everything is going fine the way you want. So by embedding governance into the data platform itself, organizations can provide board access to trusted data while maintaining security, privacy, regulatory compliance.
Definitely, Jagrit, and those are some very insightful perspectives. It's interesting how organizations today are navigating a delicate balance between empowering employees with easy access to data and other digital tools, while at the same time maintaining strong governance, security, and compliance frameworks. And like you said, I think accessibility and control are no longer opposing goals. With the right policies and framework and inclusive culture, I think businesses can create an environment where innovation thrives without compromising on security or regulatory obligations. Great. With that being said, Jagrit, I think business leaders today are navigating a complex landscape of their priorities and limited resources and increasing pressure to deliver measurable outcomes from their digital transformation initiatives. While every organization recognizes the importance of becoming more data driven and tech enabled, identifying the foundational element that can unlock the greatest business value it still remains a very critical decision. So, if business leaders could focus on only one priority to accelerate their digital transformation journey, what should it be? Should it be cloud modernization, data strategy, analytics maturity, or AI readiness? And if you're choosing one amongst all of these, why they should choose that one?
Hmm. So, cloud, analytics, and AI, according to me, they all are very, very important, but they depend on a strong data foundation. So, without trusted, accessible, and well-governed data, organizations they struggle to realize value from cloud investments and AI initiatives. A strong data strategy creates the foundation upon which analytics, maturity, AI readiness, and cloud modernization can successfully scale, actually. And to add, organizations that get their data strategy right are typically the ones that achieve sustainable transformation outcomes. Another point, accelerating digital transformation is no longer optional. It's a business imperative now. It enables agility, faster decision making, and the ability to respond quickly to evolving customers' expectations. So ultimately, organizations that move faster digitally gain competitive advantage and drive sustained innovation and growth.
That's very insightful, Jagrit. And yes, I think I agree with you. And I've come across leaders and enterprises. They often view cloud, data, and AI as separate transformation initiatives. But while they are separate, but I still feel that they're deeply interconnected and ultimately contribute to the same objective. That is, making your organization more agile, intelligent, and again, a future-ready enterprise. And I think tech investments alone do not drive information. Like you mentioned, it's really important to have a strong data foundation. And again, for that, we need to ensure data quality and a clear business outcomes and a roadmap that kind of aligns with the overall organizational goals. Great, Jagrit. So, we have discussed everything about data today, data strategy, data foundation. So, one last question for you would be, Jagrit, is how would you define the next generation of intelligent enterprise, probably for over the next 5 years?
Uh, so the next generation of intelligent enterprise will be defined by their ability to combine data, AI automation, and human decision making at scale. So this is what we were just discussing before this. So it goes hand in hand. So if you have analytics and if you're not embedding AI into it and automation into it, and then if you're not making your culture, organization culture change, where everyone is using all these tools to take decisions regarding their businesses, it won't work. So we will see organizations that make real-time decisions powered by AI, embed analytics into everyday business processes, use predictive and prescriptive insights rather than relying on the historical reporting or any other reports that they've been using from the last so many years. Then they should create unified data ecosystem across the enterprise. Empower every employee with AI assisted decision making capabilities and make sure that the culture of using data is there in your organization, because at the end of the day, it's in our hand. Ultimately, the most successful organizations won't simply collect more and more data. They will be the ones that transform data into continuous business value faster than their competitors if they want to be on top of their game.
I think, Jagrit, the path to business transformation isn't about patching isolated data issues. It's about building a strong data foundation and a modernization ecosystem that connects the vision with execution. And as we conclude our discussion, it's evident that successful digital transformation is no longer defined by the adoption of a single technology, but by how effectively organizations bring together cloud, data, analytics, and AI to create meaningful business outcomes. Thank you so much, Jagret, for taking all the time and effort and sharing your valuable insights and perspectives today with us. And I'm sure our audience has gained a deeper understanding of how business can navigate their digital transformation journeys and build intelligent and future ready enterprises. It has been a pleasure having you with us, and we look forward to seeing how these innovations continue to shape the future of business. Thank you for your insights, Jagrat. It was lovely chatting with you.
Likewise, Priya, thank you for having me, and it was great interacting with you.
Thank you so much, Jagrat. This is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion around data modernization, how it's important to have a clear data strategy in place, and probably, how you can turn those information into action and action into a more sustained competitive advantage. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes, and you can view all our previous episodes on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Thank you so much.